It's about time. Ship! Welcome back, my shipping connoisseurs, and today we're going to analyze the Bangalore and Loba ship. Now, this ship is very damn interesting. Now, a lot of people have been asking me to do the Loba Revenant one, but that ship is just the most toxic ship ever. Like, imagine dating the person that killed your parents. So that ship is gonna be for the real degenerates. So let's talk about Loba and Bangalore. Now, I like this ship because it does something very interesting. It has no Watson in it, so it's kind of refreshing to see a new ship that has two very unique characters that from the outside you would think these two would never be a couple, but they're actually more of a perfect match than you think. So let me explain. Now, most ships are categorized in a unique ways. For example, the Lifeline Octane ship, that's the best friend ship. Watson and Crypto are basically the Smarty Pants ship, basically the two smart kids ending up together. The Darkspark ship with Rafe and Watson, that's basically the opposites attract ship, and Rafe and Mirage are basically the vanilla ship, the first two characters that we meet that most likely in the end up together. But the Bangalore and Loba ship, also known as the LobaLore, and Bangalore is portrayed as the tough as nails girl that you don't want to mess with. And usually what happens is that the tough as nails girl ends up with somebody like with Watson as a protector, but not in this case, because Loba can take care of herself and she's more of the seductive use you until she gets what she wants type. And usually this type of character ends up with somebody like, I don't know, Simp Jamie, for example, like somebody you would never expect Loba will end up with in the end, but somehow they do. So after doing a lot of research, I finally came to the conclusion of what this ship is. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Cops and Robbers ship. And this actually is the perfect description to describe Loba and Bangalore, because Bangalore kind of represents law enforcement. She represents somebody that enforces the law, and her job will be to catch criminals like Loba.
Thanks. Funny. Few years ago, we'd be on opposite sides. I could have locked you up.
My pleasure. I'd tell you everything about it, but how boring would that be?
So as you can see, my legends, Bangalore clearly doesn't like thieves. And Bangalore is one of the very few characters that knows that Loba is a lying manipulator and you shouldn't trust her, which in the end she was right because she lied to the legends about the artifact in season 5. Bangalore went out of her way to find the truth what she was doing and then expose her. Funny enough, Loba actually hated Bangalore the most because no matter what Loba did, when she tried to flirt, compliment, anything towards Bangalore, Bangalore wouldn't care. Bangalore was one of the characters that Loba couldn't charm, and she knew she was going to be trouble since the beginning. And when Loba's secret was out and what her plan was, she said that, oh, you signed her death warrant, and Bangalore actually told her that I guess you should hit the road then, get a head start, because Bangalore knew she was a dead man. So it's kind of weird because in the chapter it seemed like Bangalore was actually happy that Loba was finally leaving, and then later on in the chapter she kind of changed her mind and is like, yo Gibbs, I'm gonna go help Loba because I feel responsible if anything happens to her. So for some reason Bangalore felt guilty and actually tried to help Loba with Revenant, but ever since Loba decided to help Revenant with the source code, what has happened is that Loba and Bangalore have become somewhat of friends.
Checking out what's over there. If I need you, you'll know.
I'll go too. Someone's gonna have your back.
But even Revenant acknowledged their friendship.
Next time you two have girls' night, find out where my source code is.
Now let's talk about Loba and Bangalore's similarities about each other. Now, funny thing is that Bangalore and Loba have a lot in common because Loba specifically told us is that she doesn't trust anybody because if she ever would, the universe would have taken her a long time ago. And in a way, Bangalore was like this. When she was trapped in the Outlands because of the incident, she probably couldn't trust a lot of people and she was on her own. Both of them were screwed over by the system. So for Loba, they cover up her parents' death as an incident or a case that hasn't been solved for so many years. And in Bangalore's case, she was told that the IMC were the good guys and the militia were the bad guys. So even though these two should technically be natural enemies, in the end I think they're going to realize that they're really more friends, frenemies if you would, and they can both learn something very important from each other. So Loba can learn something from Bangalore, and that is that it's okay to count on people. Because Bangalore being from the military, she understands that you have to have a lot of trust in your squad mates or teammates because you're better together than if you fight as an individual. I'm looking at you, and what Loba could teach Bangalore is to be more sociable, because Bangalore is always this strict soldier persona that she kind of doesn't let her guard down unless it's for certain legends. For Gibby Rampart, she does let her guard down occasionally, but most of the time she's in her soldier's mentality, and Loba could teach her that hey, it's okay to sometimes go with the flow and just loosen up from time to time. So my legends, that will kind of do it for this Bangalore Loba ship, also known as the Cops and Robbers ship. So yeah, tell me what you think about this. Let me know what other ships I should do, and yeah, I'll see you all next time. Peace.
There's no more time for us to turn back and hit rewind. No more chances